Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN TV studios. Rick Olson here, and we're getting ready to wrap up our coverage of the Colfax boys 2021-2022 basketball season as the 8-14 Vikings, who are 4-9 in the Dunn St. Croix Conference, take on the 16-6 Elmwood Plum City Wolves, who currently have a 9-4 conference record. The Vikings are coming off a hard-fought 48-41 loss last Friday to the Elk Mound Mounders, while the Wolves are coming off a 62-43 victory over the Boyceville Bulldogs also on Friday. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Elmwood Plum City Wolves and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Noel's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's boys basketball game between the Elmwood Plum City Wolves and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are trying to finish off the season in a strong fashion in order to prepare themselves for the WIAA regional tournament next week. The Vikings are coming off a 48-41 loss to the Elk Mound Mounders last Friday night. In that loss to Elk Mound, the Vikings were led in scoring by 5'8" sophomore Elijah Ensminger, who hit on 2 of 6 field goals, 3 of 7 from three-point range for 13 points. He was followed by Tristan Lenz, who scored on 4 field goals and a free throw for 9 points. This season, the Vikings are led in scoring by Ensminger, who's averaging over 11 points per game. He's followed by Jack Charlo, Bryce Sikora, and Nate Hajdukovic, who each add 8. Lenz and Ryan Albright contribute nearly 6 points each. The leading rebounder for the Vikings is Tristan Lenz, who's pulling down nearly 8 rebounds per game, while Charlo grabs over 5, and Hajdukovic and Nick Jensen are grabbing around 4 each. The Elmwood Plum City Wolves are coming off a 62-43 win over the Boyceville Bulldogs last Friday. Leading the way for the Wolves in that game was 6'7" senior Luke Webb. He hit 9 out of 12 field goals and 2 out of 4 free throws for 20 points. Webb was followed by Trevor Asher, who hit 4 field goals and a free throw for 9 points, along with Dane Whipple and Travis Seipel, who added 8 points each. Thus far in the season, the Wolves are led by Webb, who's averaging over 18 points per game. He's followed by Jared Pelzel and Whipple, who each average 8 points per game. Asher contributes just over 7. Webb is also the Wolves' leading rebounder, pulling down nearly 13 boards per game. Seipel is also an effective rebounder for the Wolves, grabbing over 5 rebounds per game. Now, the Vikings have been playing very tough the last few games and have simply come up short. They would really like to finish this last game of the regular season by turning that effort into a victory and being ready to take on the Mondovi Buffaloes in the first round of the WIAA regional tournament on Tuesday. Now, currently, the Vikings are averaging 50 points per game while giving up an average of 59. The Wolves are scoring an average of 55 points per game while giving up 44. Coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Mark Noel on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV by calling 715-563-1749.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again, today we're talking with Viking boys head coach Mark Knoll on Coach's Corner. And Coach, last Friday the Vikings gave the Elkmount Mounders everything they could handle, but it just wasn't enough as they dropped the game 48-41. What can you tell us about that game?
Well, I think, number one, we've been making a lot of big strides with our team and making strides with our defense. And now it's about getting over that hump. But getting to the Elkmount game in itself, I think for the most part, it was just a good high school game. Great crowd. I thought as a team we competed really well. We gave ourselves a chance. I liked how we were pressing at the end. Maybe we coulda, woulda, shoulda pressed earlier. But with that said, I think we did a great job defensively holding their key kids way below their averages. And for the most part, I was happy with the effort. The outcome obviously wasn't what we wanted, but it's a step in the right direction, especially late in the season. Oakmount got the number 3 seed in Division III in their regional, and we were toe-to-toe with them.
Now, based on what we've seen these last several games, any team that just looks at the Vikings win-loss record over the last 4 games is going to be in for quite a surprise. Your comments about that?
Yeah, I think most people, if they do look at our wins and losses, they probably will be surprised in the fact that we feel like we can compete with anybody. We competed with Spring Valley, got the number 1 seed, and we competed with them. We competed with Durant, who got the number 2 seed in our regional. So we feel like now we have no one that we need to be afraid of. We know what we're capable of. Now it's about taking that next step. We've been taking a lot of little steps. Now we got to take one more step, and that's getting over that hump.
Well, you get a chance at one more step tonight as the Vikings wrap up the regular season by taking on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, including what could be the top player in the conference in Luke Webb. What can you tell us about the Wolves?
Well, first of all, I guess before I talk about the Wolves, I want to talk about that it's our senior night, and we're going to be honoring our 7 seniors. And, honoring Tristan, Nate, Ryan, Bryce, Austin, Dustin, and Colton. And to me, that's a big thing because these kids have given a lot to the program over the years, and you want to see them go out in a good way. And we're going to celebrate them tonight during the game, after the game. And getting back to the EPC Wolves, obviously they have a good team. They've won a lot of close games this year. If you looked at their schedule, they are able to get over that hump that we're kind of talking about. And it helps having one of the top 2 players in the conference on your team, a 6'6" type kid that can get you a bucket and get you a stop almost any time you need it. So he's a difference maker because he changes the game by the basket. They play a zone because that protects him, and it keeps him by the basket where he's the top rebounder in the conference and the top scorer in the conference. And then they have 2 guards that are just solid guards. This Pelzo kid and Whipple kid. They both last time we focused on Webb, and we held him to 2 points at halftime. But those 2 kids had probably 15 points apiece at halftime. So tonight we're not going to. We're not going to let those guards get easy shots like we felt like we gave them last time. We're going to make it a little harder on him. and Webb's going to have to score more in a one-on-one situation than us doubling and tripling down on him and let these other kids have to shoot shots with somebody contesting their shots.
Now, tonight's game is a conference game, although it's really not going to have much of an impact on the conference standings. But it could be also thought of as a final tune-up going into the WIA regional tournament. Your thoughts about using it that way?
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about. These games against Spring Valley, Durand, Elk Mound, now tonight with EPC, we're ending with a lot of the best teams in the conference here at the end of the season. That's going to help us when we have to travel next week to Mondovi for that first round WIA game. So I like the fact that we're coming on strong. We're starting to figure things out. And that's how we've been looking at it, Rick, is that we want, these are games that are tournament type level games.
Okay, now, since this is the final game of the 2021-2022 regular season, you've already alluded to the seniors. I was curious about your feelings as to the growth of this team that it's gone through this year. And although the record may not quite be what people had hoped for, success is measured in things in addition to wins and losses.
Yes. I mean, when, we've had some adversity. We've had two players miss a total of like 14 games, which are two of our starters, kids I think that are our starters. And that hurt us both times, losing those kids separately. And then just overall, we had a little COVID stretch there too, which made us play Spring Valley twice in a week, and then having no practice to go into the Elk Mound game and play that well as we did with no practice, which was very impressive to do that for our kids. I'm really extremely happy with our kids. I love being their coach. I told them that last night after practice. I love being around them on the daily. And I love the fact that we are constantly trying to get better, constantly wanting to get better. And that's the kind of kids that we have here at Colfax. They just want to get better and better, and I love them for that. And I think we're getting close to getting over that hump that we need to get over. So I'm hoping tonight on senior night will be the night that we get a chance to do that.
Well, Coach Noel, good luck on tonight's game. It's been a real pleasure and an honor for us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV to follow the Vikings during the 2021-2022 season.
Well, you know what? I appreciate all the work that all of you guys put into this. You guys do a fabulous job. I've got a lot of family and friends and people that tell me that they watch this. And so it's fun to hear that back from everybody, and it's pretty special that we can do something like this at Colfax.
Well, I apologize for the right-hand side of the screen because they have to put up with me. They're looking for you, so all right. Well, good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Meet the scan. A simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Viking pregame. The Vikings are looking to finish the season strong in this last game of the regular season and prepare for the upcoming WIAA regional tournament when they travel to Mondovi to take on the Buffaloes. At the same time, the Wolves are looking to get everything tuned up for their WIAA regional first-round opponent, the Cadott Hornets. So the stage is set for some exciting high school boys basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Now in just a moment, we'll send it over to Colfax High School, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's regular season final boys game between the Colfax Vikings and the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
Touchdown!
we scored?
Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs.
I can't believe I missed that.
Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
Kevin, I need that back.
No.
Kevin!
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Light Colfax Viking basketball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Slayton's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Slayton's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Slayton's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Slayton's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Slayton's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
Lenz with the rebound, puts it up and in. Christian Lenz gets the putback shot.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking boys varsity basketball game.
And it's no good. Rebound taken down and put up and in. Ryan Albright with the rebound.
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
Inside, gives it off to Hoffman. Hoffman feeds underneath, the shot goes up and in by Nathan Hajdukovic.
Yeah, good cut there by Nate.
Good evening and welcome to Colfax High School. It's senior night for the Viking boys as the Colfax Vikings are getting ready to take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. And Dan, real quickly as the teams head over to the bench, why don't you let us know who's going to play in this game?
Yeah, here's the starters for Elmwood Plum City. They're going to go with senior number 10, Dana Whipple. Senior number 13, Jaron Pelzel. Junior number 21, Trevor Asher. Senior number 22, Luke Webb. And senior number 25, Travis Seipel. For the Vikings, they're going to go with senior number 2, Nate Hajdukovic. Senior number 4, Bryce Sikora. Senior number 22, Tristan Lenz. Senior number 24, Ryan Albright. And senior number 44, Austin Swanson.
And Austin Swanson is also our Viking profile tonight, but an all-senior starting lineup on senior night for the Vikings. And we're just about ready to send it down to the scorers table for the national anthem and their version of the starting lineups. So why don't we go ahead and do that right about now.
Sung by Colfax High School students Jordan Johnson and Elena Smith.
was Jordan Johnson and Elena Smith with the national anthem. Now right back down to the scores table for tonight's starting lineups.
Welcome to Colfax High School, your senior night, and tonight's Gunstick Croy boys basketball matchup between the Elmwood Plum City Wolves and your Colfax Vikings. Introducing the starters for the Wolves, number 10, senior Dave Whitman. And now the starting lineup for your Colfax Vikings. The 6'2" shooter, number 2, Nick
And there's the starting lineups for tonight's game. For the Wolves, it's Whipple, Pelzel, Asher, Webb, and Seipel. For the Vikings, Hajdukovic, Sikora, Lenz, Albright, and Swanson. Lenz jumping center for the Vikings. Webb jumping center for the Wolves. Vikings will be going from left to right. And Dan, I'll say this much, it's going to be a loud crowd tonight.
Yeah.
Big contingent here from Elmwood Plum City. They win the opening tip. They bring it over to the left side. That's Asher with it. Gets it back out high to Seipel. Over to the right side, down underneath towards Webb, and it gets knocked out of bounds by Lenz. So Seipel inbound for the Wolves. Gets it into Webb in the paint. Across the paint, he sends it over to Asher. Back out high to Pelzel. And ball gets knocked out of bounds by the Vikings. Vikings doing everything they can to break things up. All right, the Wolves inbound it to Webb. He's high, wide, and right. It's been a long season, Dan. Mouth is stopping working. Webb turns in the paint, puts it up, and it goes in. Sikora brings it down the floor for the Vikings. Over to the left side to Albright, back out to Sikora. Back to Albright on the left wing, back out high to Sikora. To Hajdukovic underneath to Swanson. He puts it up and in. Austin Swanson evens the score up at 2. The Wolves bring it down the floor, feed it down into the left corner. That's Asher, gets it out high to Seipel. Over to Pelzel. To Asher. Asher takes it into the paint. Out to Pelzel on the right. To Webb. Webb falls over. Gets it out to Pelzel. He's at the top of the key. Gets it over to Asher. Asher to Whipple. Takes it into the paint. His shot gets blocked out of bounds.
Yeah, good defense by Nate Hajdukovic.
Seipel to inbound the ball. They get it down underneath to Webb, turns around, puts it up, and it goes in. 4-2, Wolves on top. Vikings have it on the right side. Hajdukovic back out to Sikora, over to the left side to Albright. Back out high to Sikora. Back down to Albright on the left wing. Back out to Sikora. Cross court over to Hajdukovic, feeds it underneath to Swanson. He lays it up and in again. Down the floor come the Wolves as we're all knotted at 4. Asher with it. Gets it out to Pelzel. Over to Seipel on the left wing. Feeds it into the lane to Whipple. He goes and lays it up and in. They found Whipple cutting through the lane. 6-4. Down the floor come the Vikings. They get it over to Hajdukovic on the right. Now over to the left side to Albright. Out high to Sikora, to Lenz at the top of the key. To Hajdukovic on the right side. Puts a shot up. It's no good. Rebound taken down and put in by Swanson.
Quick 6 points for Swanson.
Swanson's got them all so far. Ball gets knocked away by the Vikings. They try to feed it across the floor. It gets picked up by Pelzel, and he brings it back down the floor for the Wolves. Gets it over to the right side to Whipple. To Webb. Down low on the right side. Feeds it to Seipel on just to the left of the rim, and he put it in.
Yeah, Colfax lost sight of Seipel.
8-6. Hajdukovic out to Sikora. Over to Albright on the left. To Sikora, to Albright. To Lenz at the left elbow. Takes it into the paint. Turns, gets it out to Sikora. Back over to Albright. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound taken away by Asher. He gets it down the floor to Pelzel. Pelzel tries to drive the baseline, but it's shut off. Feeds it to Webb, takes it in, goes up, but doesn't get it, but gets a foul. He got the foul on Swanson. That's the first foul on anyone. So Luke Webb to the line for 2. First one's on the way, it's good. Jensen into the lineup, as is Ensminger. 9-6. Webb waiting for the ball. He's got it now. Second shot on the way. It's also good. Wolves up by 4. 14-14. Left in the first half. Sikora with it. Gets it over to the left side to Hajdukovic. Back to Sikora. To Jensen at the top of the key. Over to Hajdukovic. Three-pointer on the way. He missed it. Jensen chases down the loose ball. Gets it out to Sikora. Puts up the three. It's no good. Tip back up. No good. Rebound taken down by Webb. And down the floor come the Wolves. Asher with it. Gets it down into the left corner. That's Pelzel. Gets it back out to Asher. Over to Whipple. Coming down the right side. He lays it up and in. Dane Whipple with 2. That's 4 on the nights for him. Vikings have it over on the left side. Cross-court pass over to the right side. Back out high over to the left side. Three-pointer on the way by Albright is no good. Lenz with the rebound. Tries to go up. No good. Tip back up. No good. Tipped around. Hajdukovic tries to go up with it, and he drew the foul.
Yeah, I think it's on Seipel.
And it is. First foul on any of the Wolves. Nate Hajdukovic at the line. First shot is up off the back of the air. No good. Jack Charlo into the lineup for the Vikings, giving Tristan Lenz a break. Second shot on the way. It's good. Vikings cut it to 5. And down the floor come the Wolves. Whipple on the dribble, gets it over to the right side. Now they feed it into the paint to Webb. Out to the left side, to the left corner. Pelzel with the shot, no good. Rebound, loose ball taken away by Hajdukovic. Takes it down to the right side, and
we got a foul.
We do.
13.
So the foul's on Pelzel.
His first.
That's the second team foul. Ball gets thrown into Sikora. At the top of the key, gets it over to Ensminger on the right, back out to Sikora, to Hajdukovic on the left. Back out to Sikora, to Hajdukovic. Down at the baseline to Charlo, back out high to Sikora, to Hajdukovic, to Charlo, back out to Sikora. From the free throw line, shot is up, no good. Rebound, fought for, coming away with it is Webb. They get it over to Pelzel on the left side, then down to Asher. Back out to Webb to the left elbow, backs out to Seipel between the circles. Over to the left side, and then to Webb. He lays it up and in and drew the foul.
Falls on Hajdukovic.
And we're going to get a timeout on the floor. 14-7, Wolves on top, 12:07 to go, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV. Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380. Back here at Colfax High School, Rick Olson, Dan Petschow, Jeff Gust on the camera. Vikings trailing 14-7. Luke Webb at the line. Shot is in. 15-7, and Webb has 9 of those. Sikora with it, gets it off to the left side, cross-court pass over to Ensminger, back to Sikora. Then over to Charlo on the left baseline, puts it up. Shot got blocked. Tries to go back up. He drew a foul. That could be on either one of two. I think they called it on Asher. Yes, they did. That's the first foul on Asher. Second team foul. Third team foul. Free throw is up and good. It took the scenic route to get down the hole, but it got there. Second shot is on the way, and that one's good. 15-9. Wolves bring it down the floor. They get across the timeline. That's Martin with it. Gets it over onto the right side to Asher. Down underneath. Shot goes up, no good, but taken away by Webb, who puts it up and in.
Yeah, you got to box him out.
Vikings get it over to the left side to Charlo. Long pass intended for Ensminger, and it gets tapped out of bounds, and they're saying Ensminger's the last one who touched it. Wolves basically had it intercepted, and then Ensminger got a hand in there and knocked the ball loose, and then he and I think it was Seipel, or not Seipel, but Asher went after it. So the Wolves have it on the left side. This is Seipel with a three-pointer, and he hit it. 20-9. Wolves up by 11. Ensminger gets it out to Sikora. Back to Ensminger on the right. To Sikora. At the top of the key, over to the left side to Charlo. Back out to Sikora. To Jensen at the free throw line. To Ensminger down in the right corner. Back to Jensen. He can't find the handle. And Webb comes down the floor with it. Takes it to the hole. Lays it in.
Yeah, we'll see who can step up for Colfax and stop Webb today.
He's got 13 already. Down to the baseline to Swanson. He lays it in.
Maybe it's Swanson.
Swanson's got 8. Down underneath, they get it to Holt. The Wolves have it. Back out to Seipel. Back to Holt on the baseline. Overlays it. But Webb is there to get it and put it up and in.
Yeah, Colfax is in the zone, and Webb's sneaking in.
Vikings get it over to the left side to Charlo. Pass over to Ensminger on the right. He's at the right elbow. Gets it out to Sikora. To Jensen. To Ensminger. Three-pointer on the way is no good. Rebound taken down by Webb. He's got a solo flight almost. He was being challenged. And we're going to get, I think, Ensminger with the foul. Yes, it is. That should be his first foul. Third team foul on the Vikings. First shot is up and good. And we get a timeout on the floor. 9:43 to go in the first half. It's the Wolves 25, Vikings 11. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV and Viking TV.
Mobile banking. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC. If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings. Luke Webb at the line for two. First shot is on the way. It's good. Or check that. This was an and one. That's right.
Well, no, he had a free throw that he made first.
Okay.
And then they called timeout.
That's right. It was for two, and then, yeah. I'm not that far lost. Vikings put up a three. It's no good. Ensminger has it. Gets it over to Hajdukovic. Tries to feed it underneath to Swanson. And they're going to say the Vikings were the last ones who touched it.
Yeah, it was off Swanson.
Webb came through and kind of distracted him, I think. Webb's got the ball as he's dribbling it through the backcourt. Handles the ball pretty well for such a big man. They get it over to the right side to Martin, then out high to Seipel, to Holt on the left, to Martin, to Seipel on the right, to Holt, to Martin, three-pointer on the way, it's no good. Rebound. Albright with it, across the timeline, feeds it over to the left side to Ensminger. Now they get it to Lenz at the free throw line, takes it into the paint, feeds it underneath. Swanson missed the bunny. And the rebound is going to be Viking ball as it got knocked out of bounds off of Webb. Hajdukovic to inbound. To Ensminger on the right side. To Hajdukovic from the corner. Into the paint to Lenz. Puts the shot up. It's blocked. And Webb comes away with it. He gets it over to Pelzel. They get it down underneath the Holt. And the ball gets taken away by Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic across the timeline. Feeds it over to the left side to Albright. To Lenz at the left elbow. To Hajdukovic, top of the key. Over to the right. Back out to Hajdukovic. To Albright. To Hajdukovic. To Lenz at the right elbow this time. Gets it over to Hajdukovic. Tries to go into the paint, and we're going to get a foul on the floor. And the foul is going to be on Christian Martin. Albright gets the ball in to Sikora. Takes it between the circles, feeds it over to Albright, then to Lenz at the left elbow. Over to Ensminger on the right side. To Albright on the left. To Sikora. Stops at the three-point arc. Gets it over to Albright. Then to Sikora. High, wide, and left. Directing traffic. He gets Albright to come out high. Albright over to Ensminger. Then they feed it to Sikora at the free throw line. Puts it up, and it's good. 26-13. Wolves on top. Holt has it on the left baseline. Gets it out to Pelzel. Pelzel in the left corner. Feeds it out to Webb at the top of the key. Drives into the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Lenz, and down the floor come the Vikings. Sikora with it at the top of the key, feeds it over to the left side to Ensminger. Back out to Sikora. To Lenz. Lenz thought about the shot from the elbow, gets it over to Ensminger. He hit the three! Elijah Ensminger with a three-pointer. 26-16. Vikings cut it to 10. Pelzel across the timeline, being guarded by Sikora. Takes it down the left side, feeds it out high to Martin. Martin into the corner. Pelzel answers with a three. And we have a timeout called by the Wolves. So 6:35 to go in the first half. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV and Viking TV.
Let NLWN TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ball game. Our first game of the season will be on May 1st when the Cavaliers travel to Jim Falls to take on the Jim Falls Sturgeons. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:10 p.m. That's live Cavalier baseball on Sunday, May 1st on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
Back at Colfax High School. I'll tell you what, Dan, after that weather we had a little earlier this week, I'm real eager for baseball to get started.
Time to get out the shorts.
Ensminger over to Hajdukovic, to Lenz down at the right baseline. Ball gets tapped loose, then get it out to Hajdukovic, to Sikora from three. He hit the three! Bryce Sikora with a three-pointer.
He's got
29-19. They get it to Webb on the baseline, then he gets it back out to Asher, over to Pelzel, then over to Whipple, down underneath to Asher, and they get that to Holt, and it gets knocked out of bounds by the Wolves. The Vikings will have it. Ensminger over to Hajdukovic. He brings it across the timeline. Over to Ensminger, back to Hajdukovic. He's high, wide, and left. Cross-court pass over to Ensminger on the right. Top of the key to Sikora. Sikora with a three-pointer off the back of the iron, no good. Ball gets tipped around. Finally coming away with it is Asher. He gets it to Whipple. It comes across the timeline, takes it down to the right baseline. Ball's loose, picked up by Charlo to Ensminger on the left side. Feeds it over to Sikora. Then back to Hajdukovic. Underneath to Charlo. Turns, trying to look for somewhere to go. Gets it out to Ensminger. Ensminger over to Hajdukovic on the right wing. Back to Ensminger at the top of the key. Hajdukovic now dribbles it between the circles. Takes it over to the left side. To Sikora. To Ensminger. Ensminger cross-court pass over to Hajdukovic on the left wing. Takes it down to the left baseline. Back out to Sikora, then back to Hajdukovic. And down to the baseline, the pass was intended for Swanson. And they just nailed the coach with a technical because he just kind of tossed the ball back.
I don't get it.
and coach can't believe it.
So he threw the ball back.
Yeah, well, evidently they thought it was tossed back with more vigor than necessary. Whipple at the line to shoot the technical. The first shot is up. It's no good. Second shot is up. It's no good. And now the ball will be inbounded by the Wolves. They inbound it to Asher, who puts the three-pointer up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Sikora. So after all that, the Wolves come away with nothing. Sikora puts up the shot. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Webb.
See if that puts a little spark in Colfax.
Down the floor comes Webb on the dribble. He's on the right side. Takes it down to the right baseline, puts shut up, it's no good. Rebound, puts it up, it's good, and they're going to call Hajdukovic. And Coach Noel is having discussions with the officials still. 31-19. Shot is on the way, and the +1 is good. Down the floor come the Vikings. Sikora with it. To Lenz from the free throw line. No, he gets it back out to Sikora. Over to the left side to Ensminger. Back out high to Sikora. To Ensminger. Back out to Sikora. Ensminger with a three. It's no good. Rebound taken down by the Wolves. They feed it over to Whipple. Gets it down low. Shot goes up. And we're going to get a jump ball called. The rebound was being taken down by Asher and tied up by Lenz.
Yeah, good job by Colfax to get back. Asher had a wide open shot, and Lenz got back to help out.
Jensen into the lineup for the Vikings, giving Lenz a break.
So what's the call? The ref on the other side just had Coach Noel sit down. Not for sure.
All right, Vikings have it. Hajdukovic to Sikora, to Hajdukovic, takes it into the paint, puts the shot up, no good. Rebound tipped, goes out of bounds. We have a whistle and out of bounds by the Wolves. A lot of collision down there, but no foul.
Yeah, going to hustle by Hajdukovic for Colfax.
Sikora to inbound. Feeds it into Jensen on the left baseline. His jump shot is no good. Rebound, we're going to get a foul. I believe it's on Charlo. I think he put his hand on the shoulder of the Wolves player to get a little more elevation. Kind of gave himself a boost.
Yeah, that's always a tough one on those 50-50 balls.
Ball gets inbounded to Webb. He's on the right side, pulls up. No good. Seipel with the putback, and he got it. 34-19. Down the floor, lays it up, no good. That was Hajdukovic. Overlaid it a little bit. Seipel got the rebound, gets it to Webb. Webb right through the center circle. Takes it over to the right side. Back out high to Asher, over to Pelzel, to Whipple. And they're going to call a foul on Ensminger. And Ensminger is just totally confused as to what he did.
Right. I don't know how you could call a foul that's already out of bounds.
Basically, yeah, he took the path away from Seipel, and they made contact, but Seipel was already out of bounds.
He couldn't get the ball anyways.
Seipel's free throw is up, no good. That was a one-on-one situation. Down the floor comes Sikora. Feeds it over to the left side to Ensminger, back out to Sikora, back to Ensminger, back to Sikora. Sikora over to the right side to Hajdukovic. Back out to Sikora. Back to Hajdukovic. Takes it into the paint. Feeds it underneath to Charlo. Lays it up. It won't go. Down the floor come the Wolves. Whipple on the dribble. Seipel with it. Gets it out to Webb on the right side. Takes it into the paint. Lays it up. It's no good. Jensen with a rebound. Gets it to Hajdukovic. To Sikora. Across the timeline. Back over to Hajdukovic. To Sikora to Hajdukovic. Minute 45 to go. To Sikora. Ball gets tipped. It's out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. 34-19. Ball gets inbounded to Sikora. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we have a Viking profile, which will be Austin Swanson. We also have a special feature about upcoming program for NLWN TV. Long pass, and they're going to call an over and back on the Vikings. So the Wolves have it. Seipel to inbound. Gets it into Whipple in the backcourt. Whipple takes it through the center circle. Over to Seipel. To Pelzel down in the left corner. Tries to feed it underneath. And it was last touched by Webb. Before it went out of bounds, it'll be Viking ball.
Yeah, good hustle by Charlo.
So the Vikings bring it down the floor. Sikora on the dribble. Takes it to the right elbow. It got tipped but picked up by Albright. Then over to Hajdukovic. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound. Tipped around. And coming away with it is the Wolves. Whipple now has it. He's coming through the backcourt. Takes it into the paint. Puts the shot up. And it goes in. 36-19. Vikings have it between the circles. Sikora with it. Gets it over to Hajdukovic. 18 seconds remaining in the half. Hajdukovic gets it back out high. Sikora with it. Out to Hajdukovic, 8 seconds, to Sikora, to Albright, to Sikora, puts up the three, no! And that takes us to halftime with the score. The Wolves 36, Vikings 19. We have Viking halftime coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Time now for Viking Halftime with this week's edition of Viking Profile and the Colfax High School Report. That's all coming up following this brief timeout.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Austin Swanson, who is a senior here at Colfax High School. Austin, we know you play basketball, but are you involved in any other activities here at school?
Oh, yeah, I play football, and then I play baseball in the spring.
Okay, and when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience have you had?
This is my first year playing basketball since 4th grade, and just a little bit that I've been here, I know that it's really a team sport, and people need to be having each other's backs at all times for it to be able to work.
So that's pretty much the most important thing you've learned too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, and so that's all that part of that communication thing. And so when you're not playing basketball, you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested and keep you occupied?
Well, I do work at Cenex and Colfax. I like to hang out with my friends a lot, my family. Just spending time with them is the most important thing to me.
All right, very important question for you here. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
Favorite flavor?
Chocolate.
Okay. Favorite color?
Blue.
Is there a reason?
I like blue.
You like blue. That's a good reason. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Probably super strength.
Okay, super strength. Any particular reason?
It's fun being strong.
Okay. Fortune favors the brave and the strong and all that, yeah. All right. So with a superpower like that, of course you have to have a superhero name. What's Austin's superhero name?
Probably King Austin.
King Austin. Okay. All right. Your favorite NBA team?
The Bucks.
All right. And favorite collegiate team?
The Badgers.
All right. We're talking with Austin Swanson on Viking Profile. And Austin, what are your plans for after high school?
Go to college, obviously. I mean, I don't know really what to do yet, but we'll figure it out.
You've got plenty of time. You'll probably change your mind 3 times in college.
Of course.
Of course, yeah. How about a shout out to the family?
All right. Shout out Mom, Chris, Bella, Gavin, Noah, Alex. I think that's all of them.
If it isn't, somebody's going to let you know.
They're going to get mad at me.
And when people watch Viking games, where are they going to find you on the floor?
You know, probably at the 5, the center position. I mean, I am tall. I have the height for it.
Trust me, you are.
Yeah.
My arm is falling asleep holding the microphone up there. All right. We want to thank Austin Swanson for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Soon the weather will change and you'll be able to breathe in the clean, fresh air of spring. And you know what comes right along with that. That's right, it'll be time for Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, and we'll have all the action for you on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN TV. So follow the Cavaliers during the 2022 season right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Be sure to check out our website at www.northernlightwebcastingnetwork.com for our current Cavalier broadcast schedule.
Today, instead of the Colfax High School report, we thought we'd bring you a preview of what NLWN TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network have in store for later this spring and summer. For the second year, we will carry Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. This year will mark the 51st season of Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, and we're proud to be part of it. Now, last season, the Cavs posted a record of 29-7 for a winning percentage of over 80%. They were 18-2 in the Chippewa River Baseball League for a 90% average and qualified for the Wisconsin Baseball Association tournament in Marshfield. This season, there are a number of changes the Cavaliers will need to work their way through to have a repeat of last year's success. Those changes start right at the top. Last season, the Cavs were led by manager Ryan Page. This year, changes in his job situation prevented him from having the time necessary to do the job of managing the Cavs. So this season, the job belongs to Pete Bartengale. Pete also coaches baseball at Independence High School and formerly the Eau Claire Babe Ruth traveling team that played up at Mount Simon in Eau Claire. Although this season's roster is still under construction, so far the Cavs have commitments from 9 returning veterans as well as 9 new faces. 2 of the top 3 hitters from last season are back in Mitch Voller, who hit .402, and Cooper Kapanke, who hit .396 while leading the team in doubles with 11. Other returners include Anthony Pogodzinski, who hit .327 with 7 doubles and 2 home runs, and 31 RBIs. Gabe O'Brien, Jackson Vance, Xavier Bemninster, Ethan Kelberg, Cole Timon, and Austin Getch round out the returners so far signed. Newcomers to the Cavaliers this season include former Colfax Viking basketball player Caden Erickson. He's joined by Cooper Kapanke's younger brother Campbell, as well as Elk Mound native Josh Garcia. According to manager Pete Bartengale, the Cavaliers are getting pretty young pretty fast, but there's a lot of talent returning as well as coming on board. The one area in which the Cavaliers need to bolster is pitching. None of the top 3 starters from last season have committed to return this year. Those 3 combined had a 19-3 record with a combined .209 ERA. Now, that's a pretty big hole to fill. The Cavaliers have returners in Jackson Vance, who had a 3-2 record with a 6.46 ERA, and closer Ethan Kelberg, who had a 2-2 record with 3 saves and an ERA of 3.29. Mitch Baller also saw limited time on the hill. New arms on the staff include Mondovi product Jackson Faulkner, as well as Blair products Chris and Sam Killian. The Cavaliers will continue to play in the Chippewa River Baseball League. The league is down to 10 teams, so each team will play 18 league games. In addition, the Cavaliers have filled their schedule to play a total of 32 games. The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV are scheduled to be on hand at all of them. Now, in addition, we will carry the CRBL All-Star Game, hosted this year by the Cavaliers at Carson Park on July 1st. Now, should the Cavaliers qualify for the Chippewa River Baseball League playoffs, we will be there to cover them as well. Other featured games to watch for this season include the annual Billy Noss Memorial Game, honoring longtime Eau Claire and Carson Park personality Billy Noss. That'll be against the Eau Claire Bears on May 31st. On June 15th, the Cavaliers will travel to Haugen, Wisconsin to take on the Haugen Knights, who were finalists in the WBA state tournament last season. On July 30th and 31st, the Cavaliers will host a pair of doubleheaders against the Westmont, Illinois Red Sox. The Sox have been coming to Eau Claire for around 20 years, and this will be a continuation of that rivalry. And of course, how could we leave out opening night? That'll be Sunday, May 1st, when the Cavaliers travel to Jim Falls to take on the Sturgeons. It's a full summer of baseball for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
And welcome back to Colfax High School. We're just getting ready to start the second half. They had a real nice presentation at halftime for Joe Verdon, who has been the official floor sweeper for the Vikings for quite a while now. And he is leaving, retiring, passing the torch. And this is his final game. Our final boys game anyway. I don't know if he's going to be doing it for tomorrow night's girls regional game or not. But anyway, they presented Joe with a plaque recognizing all of his service and the appreciation the school has for him. And it was very well deserved for Joe. So we're getting ready to start the second half. Wolves on top of the Vikings 36-19. Wolves to inbound the ball to get things started. Vikings will be going from right to left. And Seipel waiting for the ball. Passes it into the backcourt to Whipple. Whipple brings it across the timeline. Feeds it over to Asher on the right. To Pelzel, over to Whipple. Ball gets tipped away by Hajdukovic. Takes it down the floor, lays it up, and the ball got blocked by Whipple. Seipel has it, gets it over to Whipple. They get it down to the right side into the corner to Asher. To Seipel, who lays it up and in.
Seipel has 9.
Oops. And a long three put up by the Vikings. Rebound by Lenz. He lost the handle, and it's going to be out of bounds. Viking ball. Pelzel had it and rolled over onto the end line with Lenz on top of him, but
how did Lenz?
Pelzel's the one that was out of bounds. They get it into Lenz. Over to Albright. To Sikora, to Lenz from the elbow, puts it up, no good. Rebound, taken down by Hajdukovic, his putback is no good. Gets his own rebound, feeds it out to Albright, three-pointer on the way off the back of the iron, no good. Pelzel with the rebound. He feeds it down into the right side, down underneath now to Webb, who lays it up, and it rolls in.
Webb is 22.
Albright with it, gets it out to Sikora, back to Albright, to Lenz at the left elbow, back to Albright on the left wing. To Sikora, to Lenz at the free throw line, back out to Sikora, top of the key. Gets it over to Ensminger, back to Sikora, to Lenz from the right elbow this time. Takes it into the paint, turn around, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Webb. And Whipple brings it across the timeline. They give it over to Pelzel, to Asher on the right side. Back out high to Pelzel. Over to Whipple on the left. To Seipel between the circles. Over to the right side now, down on the baseline to Whipple, puts it up and in. And a timeout being called by the Vikings. So with a timeout on the floor, it's the Wolves 42, Vikings 19. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV and Viking TV.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
If you have a high-deductible health plan, opening a health savings account at Dairy State Bank will allow you to save tax-free dollars to pay for a long list of health-related services allowed by the IRS. Dairy State Bank HSAs are serviced locally and work like a regular checking account. You can use a debit card or check to pay for expenses and access your account through online or mobile banking. Visit DairyStateBank.com to learn more about HSAs and online or mobile banking. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
We're back here at Colfax High School. Jeff's confusing me over here. All right, Albright with it to Sikora as they come down the backcourt, across the timeline to Lenz. Back out to Sikora, over to Ensminger on the right side to Sikora, over to Albright on the left, back out to Sikora between the circles to Lenz at the free throw line. To Sikora from the elbow, puts it up and in. Sikora from the right elbow hit that one. 42-21. Seipel over to Pelzel on the right side to Webb in the right corner. He tries the right baseline. It's not there. Feeds it out to Whipple, high, wide, and left. To Webb in the paint. Gets it to Seipel. Puts the shot up. It's no good. And we're going to get a foul called on Hajdukovic.
That'll be his third.
First team foul on the Vikings. Seipel at the line for two. First shot on the way. It's no good. Or it is good. Charlo in. Giving Lenz a break. Seipel with his second shot is on the way. That one's also good. It's 11 points for Seipel tonight. They feed it to Charlo, out to Albright. On the left side, gets it out high to Sikora. Back over to the left side to Albright. Ball gets tipped, but Charlo gets it, takes it into the paint, puts the shot up. It's a little short. Seipel with the rebound. Gets it over to Pelzel in the backcourt. Comes across the timeline. Closely guarded. Double team now at the elbow. Feeds it over to Whipple. Whipple cross court back over to Pelzel on the right side, down to the baseline to Asher to Webb, who lays it up and in.
Good ball movement by Elmwood Plum City.
Vikings. Oh, the ball was tipped. I thought they were going to get called for an over and back, but evidently Pelzel got a finger on it. Ensminger with it on the right side, and we're going to get a blocking foul called on Whipple.
I think that's his first. Yep.
It's also the first team foul on the Wolves.
Mason
Hajdukovic takes a break.
Mason Yerington comes in.
The 5'6" sophomore. But a threat from three-point land. Ensminger over to Sikora. Sikora down into the right corner to Ensminger. Ensminger tries to drive the baseline. Puts the shot up. It won't fall. Gets tipped. Saved inbounds, but right into the hands of the Wolves. Whipple brings it down across the timeline, gets it down to the corner to Seipel. That's on the left side to Webb in the paint. Jumper, no good. Rebound taken down by Albright for the Vikings. Down the floor he comes. Ball got stripped and down the floor. Whipple with the layup. 48-21.
Whipple has 10.
Yarrington with a three-pointer on the way. He hit the three. I like it when a player makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about. He is a threat from three. Seipel with it, feeds it across court to Pelzel, out to the top of the key to Webb, to Seipel down on the left corner. Thought about the three. Tries to feed it to Webb. It got tipped away but picked up by Whipple. Whipple at the top of the key over to Webb. Webb's at the top of the key. Gives it over to Pelzel on the right. Now takes it into the lane. Lays it up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Ensminger. Ensminger down the floor. Lays it up, and it was slammed away by Webb. A pretty emphatic block. And now a pass tipped away by Charlo. It goes out of bounds, but a real good job by Charlo to get back and knock that away, because Webb probably would have slammed that home too.
Yeah, Charlo's kind of good at reading the floor.
Seipel to inbound. Feeds it into Webb in the paint. Tries to drive to the hole, turns around, puts it up, he hit it.
Webb with 26.
Down the floor come the Vikings. They get it over to the left side to Irwin. Back out high to Sikora. Now taking it down toward the baseline. Shot goes up. It's no good by Charlo. And down the floor come the Wolves. Pelzel across the timeline. Feeds it to the top of the key to Webb. Webb takes it into the paint. Tries to slam it and he missed it. And he's getting some raspberries from the Viking crowd. Ensminger, and we're going to get a blocking foul called, and I think it's going to be on Asher. It is. That's his second. Webb wanted to put that one down hard, but the rim had another idea. Well, we've seen that play before, and the ball bounced out of bounds.
Pulled something out of the
girls' playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sikora bounced it off the back of the defensive player and stepped in bounds and got it, but then immediately stepped out of bounds with it. So the Wolves have it down in the right corner. That's Holt with it. Feeds it out to Webb. High, wide, and right. Gets it across to the left side to Pelzel. Then down to Martin. Martin takes it to the left elbow. Then to Seipel.
This is a good matchup. Charlo against Webb.
Webb has it. Kind of nudges Charlo away. Picks up his dribble. Feeds it over into the left corner. Three-pointer on the way. And we're going to get a foul called on Bo Holt as he climbed over the back of Bryce Sikora on the rebound. That's going to be the third team foul on the Wolves. First foul on Holt. Vikings bring it down the floor. Sikora gets it over to Yarrington. Takes it to the top of the key. Over to Ensminger. Now they work it back down to the right side. Sikora puts up a three. No. Rebound taken down by Pelzel. He gets it over to Martin. Back out to Pelzel. Over to the right side to Webb. Webb on the dribble. Feeds it out high. Now they get it over to the left side to Holt. Out to Webb. Cross court pass to Martin in the right corner. Then to Seipel, who lays it up and in.
Seipel with 13.
Irwin with it. Ball gets knocked away, but picked up by Sikora. Sikora waiting for traffic to clear. Gets it over to Yarrington, who hits a three. And a timeout being called by the Vikings. So we have a timeout on the floor. 52-27, Wolves on top, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
Simplify your life. Pleasant Valley Properties provides affordable housing and homes in communities in Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. They have staff available to help you locate the home that best meets your needs and desires, as well as service staff that maintains the properties. Contact Pleasant Valley Properties at 715-226-6200. Call today and let them help you get into the home of your dreams. That's Pleasant Valley Properties, 301 Grammar Avenue in Colfax.
When you've checked that hayfield and find it's time to harvest, give a call to Aaron's Custom Baling. Aaron will provide you with 4x5 net-wrapped round bales. He can even give your bales that spruced up look with select custom netting if you'd like. Serving Western Wisconsin, that's Aaron's Custom Baling. Call 715-202-0118.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson, Dan Petchow, Jeff Gust on the camera. Wolves have the ball. Seipel with it, coming down the floor. Feeds it down to the right baseline. He gets it back then. Then back down to the baseline to Holt. Back out to Seipel. To Martin at the top of the key. Now to Holt. Then to Seipel. Feeds it down underneath to Asher. Back out high to Martin. Over to Asher. Asher feeds it over to Seipel. Seipel takes it to the paint. Gets it back out to Asher. To Martin. Blake Allen is in the lineup for the Wolves. To Holt, and we're going to get an offensive foul being called on Allen. That's the fourth foul on the Wolves, and a timeout being called. So 52-27, Wolves on top. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
Let NLWN TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ball game. Our first game of the season will be on May 1st when the Cavaliers travel to Jim Falls to take on the Jim Falls Sturgeons. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:10 p.m. That's live Cavalier baseball on Sunday, May 1st on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
Back here at Colfax High School, Vikings to inbound. Yarrington inbounds it to Sikora. Coming up on 9 minutes remaining. They get it out high to Ensminger between the circles to the top of the key. Over to Sikora on the right side to Lenz. Right side of the paint, takes it into the paint, and we're going to get a foul underneath. And the foul is going to be on Trevor Asher. It's his third. 5th team foul. Vikings inbound it to Irwin. Irwin with the three-pointer, no good. Rebound is tipped out of bounds off of Lenz. So it'll be the Wolves' ball. Seipel gets it into Asher. Feed it down into the right corner. Shot goes up from just inside the arc and good. That was by Bo Holt. 54-27. And ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Vikings. Albright coming in, replacing Irwin. Now we have two more coming in for the Vikings. Swanson and Medine. Seipel gets it into Martin, who brings it across the timeline on the right side. Ball gets passed towards the paint, gets knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Lenz. So the Wolves have it. Seipel the inbound. He gets it into Martin. Martin over to the right side to Allen, then to Holt. Back out to the top of the key, and then over to the left side to Martin. Into the paint to Seipel. Feeds it underneath to Asher. Reverse layup is no good. Rebound tipped. It's out of bounds, and it'll be Viking ball. Holt thought he had it saved, but his foot was out of bounds when he went in the air to try and knock it back in. Vikings feed it to the edge of the paint, and they're going to get Lenz with a walk. As he was turning around, the pivot foot dragged. 54-27. Vikings trail. Ball gets inbounded. Seipel has it. Feeds it over to Allen. Passes it across court to Martin. Down to Holt on the left baseline. Puts it up no good. Lenz with the rebound. Bringing it down the floor. Feeds it over to Albright on the left side. Comes back out high to Medine. To Lenz at the free throw line. Down underneath to Swanson. Whoa, he tried to pass it out to Medine right into the hands of Martin. Martin on the dribble. Still in the backcourt, now crosses the timeline. They get it down on the baseline to Holt. Gets it out to Allen. Ball gets tipped and out of bounds. So Seipel will inbound it. Seipel to Asher, back to Seipel. Over to Allen on the right side. Trying to find somewhere to go, kind of tied up. Gets it to Holt. Holt into the lane. His pass went over to Martin, and Martin's shot is no good. Vikings come down. Sikora with a jumper, puts it up and in.
Sikora's got 9.
Wolves come down the floor. Martin with a short little jumper, no good. Gets his own rebound, tries to put it back up. Blocked right back in your face by Swanson. And down the floor come the Vikings. Over to Albright, three-pointer. He hit the three. 54-32. Allen on the dribble. Feeds it down into the corner. Gets it back out to Allen. Now a shot from the left side. It's a three-pointer and hit it by Martin. So Sikora with it across the timeline. Feeds it to Lenz. Lenz down to the baseline. We're going to get an offensive foul called on Lenz. He threw a pretty good forearm that time.
Yeah, I know.
I think that was more of a frustration foul than anything.
Yes, but Seipel was backing up also, and he sold it pretty good. Seipel's a big kid.
So the Wolves have it. They get it to Asher. Over to Allen from the left side, and we're going to get Sikora with a foul on that three-pointer. First shot is on the way. It's no good. Blake Allen, 5'8" sophomore. Still with 2 shots left.
Second shot's good.
And the third shot is on the way. It's off the iron, no good. 58-32. Vikings have it on the right side. Albright out high to Sikora. They cross it over to Medine. Three-pointer on the way. Rattles around and off, no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds by Lenz.
Yeah, Lenz has to fight a little harder there for position.
Wolves get it into the forecourt. Seipel with it. Gets it over to Whipple. Whipple down into the left corner to Asher. Back out high to Whipple. To Seipel at the left elbow. Over to the right side. Three-pointer is good by Blake Allen.
Allen's got 4.
So down the floor come the Vikings. 61-32. Vikings feed it underneath to Swanson. Lays it up. He got fouled.
Fouls on 25. Travis Seipel. His second. Austin's first shot. No good.
Second shot. No good. Put back by Lenz. That one went in. And the Wolves bring it down the floor. They get it over to the left side to Martin. Back out high to Seipel. Then down into the right corner to Holt. Holt out to Allen. Feeds it to the free throw line to Seipel. To Martin. Then to Holt. Turnaround jumper's no good. Rebound taken down by Asher. He kicks it out to Martin. Martin feeds it into the paint to Seipel. They get it out to Holt. To Martin, three-pointer, no good. Rebound taken down by Medine. Vikings down the floor. And coming into the lane is Sikora, and he went down hard on his wrist. Taking his time getting up.
Foul be on 24, Christian Martin.
And it says that's the 7th foul. That should be a 1-and-1, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the scoring table says 1-and-1.
#21, Justin Nigaman for Colfax.
And trying to come in was Irwin, but he's coming in for Sikora, and Sikora's got to shoot the 1-and-1. First shot on the way, it's no good. Rebound taken down by Seipel. He gets it to Martin. Martin now over to the baseline to Asher, out to Holt, to Allen from 3, no good. Rebound taken down by Sikora. 4 minutes coming up on, and we have a timeout on the floor by the Vikings. So with a timeout on the floor, it's 61-34. Wolves on top of the Vikings, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
Jason, let's go see your room.
No, that's not right. How was it? Is it good?
(61-34). The Elmwood Plum City Wolves leading the Colfax Vikings. Final regular season game of the year. Vikings have the ball. Nigaman inbounds it. They get it over to Irwin on the left side. Over to Nigaman on the right. Out to Medine, but the ball gets taken away by Allen. He gets it over to Martin on the left side. Martin coming out between the circles. Feeds it over to Allen. Back over to Martin. Martin waiting for something to happen. Now gets it over to Allen. Now they get it down to the baseline to Asher. Back out to Seipel, to Martin. Martin dribbles out between the circles. And we get a traveling call. Or maybe it's just to get a substitution made. The signs are very similar. Just a timeout, enough to get a substitution into the game for the Wolves. So they have the ball, gets tipped. Vikings get it back. Irwin with it, puts it up. It's good, and he's going to get the harm.
Yeah, the foul will be on number 2, Blake Allen.
I think that's maybe his third.
I have 3.
Allen with 3. Shot goes up. It's good. 61-37. Wolves bring it down across the timeline. Allen has it high, wide, and right. Cross-court pass over to the left side. A little too hot to be handled by Holt. That's quite the alliteration. Hot to be handled by Holt.
Triple H.
Vikings have it. Irwin with it. Across the timeline. Top of the key. Over to Medine. Down into the left corner. Three-pointer, no good by Albright. It rattled around a couple times before it came out. So Martin has it. Across the timeline. Ball gets stolen by Medine. Down the floor, and he got bumped on the way up. Medine's going to go to the line for 2.
Foul's on number 21.
That's Asher.
I think it's his 4th.
They say it's on 24.
Huh?
I don't even see a 24 out there.
There was only one guy down there. Oh, there's 2. Okay. Yep. 24.
Okay.
It was just kind of how his jersey was laying.
All right. So there are 2 fouls, and the foul is on Martin. So the free throw is good. And the second one's no good. Rebound. Taken down by the Wolves. They feed it over to Allen. Then into the lane to Maxwell. Now they get it back out high, and now over to the left corner to Holt. Back out high to Martin, high, wide, and left. Feeds it over to the right side. Ball gets tipped, but picked up by Allen. To Martin. Over to Holt. Holt with it. Gets it over to Allen. To Martin. Back to Allen at the top of the key. He's double teamed there. Tries to feed it into the lane. Nigaman gets a hand on it, but the Wolves pick it up. Now they swing it around. It's Martin with it. Out to Allen, very close to getting it. We're going to get a blocking foul being called on Johnson for the Vikings. It was very close to over and back. It just didn't ever hit the floor on the.
Got a sub for Colfax.
Colton Lemon into the game with a big hand.
Colton is a senior?
Yes, he is, and look for some long bombs coming now. Ball comes in, and Martin has it. Takes it between the circles. We get a whistle and a foul. Foul's on Medine. Minute 42 to go.
It's Medine's first.
That's only the 5th foul on the Vikings. They still got another one to give. Malice to inbound it. To Allen. And then to Martin. We're going to get a whistle and.
Foul on Mitch.
Yes, the foul's on Medine.
I think he gave him a little bump.
Little extra oomph. Malice to inbound. He gets it in to Maxwell. Over to Martin. Martin slips and falls, but the ball gets over to Pomeroy, who puts up the shot. It's no good. Medine Gets it to Colton Lemon. Long shot just off the iron. That was from the mid-court line. And it gets some life into the crowd. Wolves have it. Allen with it. Gets it to Martin. And we get a whistle and a foul on Nigaman.
Gonna be Dustin's first.
So at the line is Martin. First shot is on the way. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Nigaman. They feed it down to Colton Lemon. Puts up his shot. It's no good. Ball gets stolen. Lemon with it. Takes it in. Lays it up. It goes in. Colton Lemon.
Colton with 2 points.
Martin with it. He's out high. Ball gets tipped away. Here comes Nigaman. Laying it up. And he scores! Dustin Nigaman.
With 2 points.
That might be his first 2 varsity points. Ball loose. Here comes Colton Lemon. Lays it up. He hits it again!
4 seconds off.
And there's the buzzer. Final score, Elmwood Plum City Wolves 61, Vikings 44. And we're going to have Viking postgame coming up in just a few moments. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Boys Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
Time now for Viking postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking boys game. And now, Viking postgame.
Welcome back to Colfax High School, where the Vikings come up on the short end of the score. Elmwood Plum City Wolves 61, Vikings 44. But we're going to send it right down to the floor right away for a ceremony honoring the seniors.
Recognition of their hard work, dedication, and outstanding contributions to Colfax High School basketball. Presenting the awards on behalf of the Boys Viking Club are Coach Mark Knoll, Coach Tristan Gibson, Coach Nick Height, and Coach Brett Prince. Will the following please go to center court? Number 2, Nate Idukovic. Bryce Sikora. Number 21, Dustin Nigaman.
they're going to take a few pictures and everything. It's always quite the day to honor the seniors here on Senior Day. A couple of those seniors hit the hole. And actually scored some points as they turn around and get some shots from the other side so that the parents can get them and Jeff can get in nice and tight to them. Now they turn back around. And a super big day for guys like Colton Lemon and Dustin Nigaman scoring.
Yeah, you know, the boys, kind of an up and down season, but they fought hard. They kind of figured it out throughout the season what was going on. And on to their next career.
Yeah, in fact, in today's game, they just didn't have an answer for Luke Webb today.
Yeah, it was a Luke Webb show, 26 points.
He does voice his opinion. He has great things to say. Wishing Nate the best of luck next year at Denison University. Rice has really improved this season. I'm sure it was hard for him to miss last season with an injury.
And Coach Noah wrote a little blurb about each player, and they're reading those now.
Rice is a coach on the floor. Best of luck to Rice in his next chapter. Dustin came back to basketball after taking some throughout the season. I also appreciate Dustin's teamwork and positive mindset. Best of luck, Dustin, in the next chapter of your life. Tristan has worked hard to be one of the best rebounders in the Dun St. Croix. He worked hard this past summer playing AAU basketball. I really enjoyed getting to know Tristan and understand what motivates him to be his best. Best of luck at CBTC next year. Ryan is one tough kid. Last year, he broke his leg and tried to play on it and never said one word. Ryan has really improved as a defensive player, and I love the fact that he's a team player who will do whatever the coaches ask of him. Best wishes, Ryan, next year at UW Stuff. I love Colton's passion for the game of basketball and his love for his teammates. I always enjoy seeing how Colton loves being around his teammates, and they love cheering for Colton to make one of his long-distance three-point shots. Best wishes in the future, Colton. I love that Austin Swanee came back out for basketball his senior year. Swanee improved so much over the year. Every day in practice, he brought his best. Swanee is a great team player, and he brought a lot of positive energy to our team. Best wishes in the future, Austin. Thank you, seniors. This group of seniors, we really enjoy our time as the coaches. We appreciate how hard they work and how they have come together and grown as a team. This group of seniors will have a lot of great memories together, on and off the court. In the big picture, they have made friends for life. If any of you need anything, just remember, we're one call away. Thank you, seniors.
And the senior ceremony is breaking up now. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a real quick time out here and then see if we get one of the coaches to come up here and talk to us about the effort made today. So you're tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV by calling 715-563-1749.
I tell my son, I love you every single day. I love you. Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
Back here at Colfax High School. Just got a very nice greeting from the Lenz family.
Okay.
Yeah, that's who that was.
Okay.
Dan, final score today was Elmwood Plum City Wolves 61, Vikings 44. And you have all the numbers to tell us how they got there?
I do.
Why don't you do that, and then we'll see if we get a coach up here.
Here's the scores for Elmwood Plum City. They're led by number 22, Luke Webb, with 26 points, followed by Travis Seiple with 13, Dana Whipple with 10. We had Blake Allen with 4. We had Christian Martin with 3, and Bo Holt with 2. For the Colfax Vikings, they're led today by number 4, Bryce Sikora with 9 points, followed by Austin Swanson with 8. Then we had Mason Yarrington with 6. We had Colton Lemon with 4. We had Ryan Albright with 3. We had Kyler Irwin with 3. And Elijah Ensminger with 3. And then we had Jack Charlo, Tristan Lenz, Dustin Nigaman with 2 points, 61-44.
And as we said earlier, it was a case of the Vikings actually not playing that badly. They just didn't have an answer for Luke Webb. And when the few times they did figure something out about him, then Travis Seiple came and made a mess out of things for the Vikings. In fact, it was Webb, Seiple primarily, and Whipple to some degree that caused most of the headaches for the Vikings tonight.
Yeah, you know, you got to put a body, and hopefully you can use 2 on Webb. You know, and Colfax kind of lost him quite a few times there in the first half, and he got to the rim quite a bit.
You know, got to say something about Austin Swanson here. Yes, he was our Viking profile player tonight, but in the first half, first 6 points were scored by Swanson, and it looked like the Vikings might have an answer to Whipple with the play underneath the basket because Swanson was there making himself felt. Unfortunately, he couldn't sustain it through the whole game, but boy, oh boy, that first 5 minutes of the game or so, Swanson was right there leading the way for the Vikings.
Yeah, they had something figured out there right away, and that was one of the best performances by Swanson that I've seen this season.
Now, I see Coach Noel down there, but on senior night, he's going to have a lot of folks that he has to talk to. He just got done taking some team pictures, and he's talking to part of the Sikora crew now, and so maybe he'll be on his way over eventually. I'll tell you what, why don't we take a brief timeout, and one way or another we'll come back for some last words right here on Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you'll go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. That microphone's awfully noisy, but that's okay. Just don't move it around a lot.
Gotcha.
Okay, we're talking with Coach Prince. And you know what, Coach? The score doesn't show how close the Vikings actually played that game. Just didn't have an answer for Luke Webb.
Yeah, for first half kind of proved it. It was, I think they had, what did they have at halftime? 34, I think it was a halftime score.
Yeah, 36.
36, yeah, and he had 20 of them.
Right.
And we knew that some that number 10 and 13 were going to do some scoring, but it wasn't quite like all around like we never thought it was going to be all around like it was.
In fact, their answer for the few times that you were able to do something with Webb Travis Seipel, and he had I don't know how many he ended up with there, Dan, but
is that 25? What number?
Yeah,
25.
He was number 25, and
Yep.
he finished with 13 points.
Yeah.
And it seemed like every time you stopped Webb, Seipel was there to do something with it.
Yeah, that's kind of what those good teams do. They always got their main guy, and then they always have another main guy. I don't think that Seipel's, or what's his last name?
Seipel.
Seipel, yeah. I don't think he's typically the other go-to guy, but it just happened to be him tonight, and so hats off to them.
And otherwise, the Vikings played hard, and their few shots wouldn't go through. They didn't get a whole lot of second chances. When you've got Webb underneath there, it's hard to control the boards. And,
It's tough because you try to work in practice and work on your rebounding and your positioning when the shot goes up, and it doesn't help when you got a kid like Webb that jump up at the end and can kind of control the boards just by his athleticism like that. And so
the other thing is, let's give hats off to those seniors. You got some holes to fill for next season.
Yeah.
Because there were some pretty good kids on that group of seniors. But holy cow, Colton Lemon gets 4 points.
Yeah.
Hats off to Dustin Nigaman putting in a bucket tonight.
Yep.
And in fact, watching that JV game, I wasn't sure Dustin was going to be able to come out for this one.
Yeah.
Bloody nose. He got bloodied up a little bit in that one, and it didn't look like it wanted to stop for him. And but he got that all taken care of. He got out and played respectable.
Yep. Definitely.
Austin Swanson. He was on fire at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, who would have thunk it? It was the way he was playing. It was, he's kind of one of those guys, to just come off the bench just to give Tristan a little breather here and there, and it's one of those things when he scores, it's a bonus type of thing. But all
of a sudden, you had your first 6 points.
Yeah, and then it was one of those things where it's like, keep the guy in. It's definitely use him while we got him, for sure. So
61-44. So now it's time to get ready for WIA regionals. You've got Mondovi down at Mondovi on Tuesday. What do you think about that one?
Well, at least we're familiar with him. We almost had him here at our place earlier in the season, and then second game against him, it didn't go quite so well, and. But there's things that we can fix, and I'm sure there's things that they want to fix too when they meet us. So it.
And Coach Noel and I talked about this in Coach's Corner a little bit about how if you play the way you have these last 4 or 5 games, you could be very dangerous to just about any team.
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of what I've been thinking myself too, and I'm sure other people thought the same way. And our A game, which I think all of us here tonight can definitely say this wasn't our A game, but we've showed it throughout the season, here and there, and so hopefully we catch Mondovi on one of our A game nights. So.
Well, it sounds like that microphone is getting ready to die on you.
Sorry.
So we'll let you get going here, but 61 to 44. Wish it could have been otherwise, but thanks for stopping up, and we'll have more Viking postgame right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV and Viking TV.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Dan's over there chatting like crazy. And I think they're talking about the technical foul Coach Knoll got called on him back in the first half. And he was pretty livid about that. It's twice in about 2 weeks that we've seen Coach Knoll get red hot livid. But that sometimes goes with coaching, and that's what happens. So, yeah, Dan, your final thoughts about this one?
Yeah, good job by the seniors. They fought hard. And the big test will be coming up here against Mondovi, so they got to get ready for that.
And don't forget, we have the Viking girls basketball team. They're going to start their 2022 WIA regional tournament play tomorrow night when they host the Cadet Hornets right here at Colfax High School. The game is going to be carried on Viking TV, Northern Light Webcasting Network, and NLWN TV. Don't have the broadcast rights for the playoff games, but Dan and I will be providing the play-by-play for Viking TV tomorrow night. That game is scheduled to start at 7 o'clock, so we'll be on shortly before that. The Viking boys, as we were talking about, begin their WIA regional play Tuesday by traveling to Mondovi and taking on the Mondovi Buffaloes. Check out the Mondovi School website, and somewhere along in there you're going to find the streaming coverage of that game. Hey, don't forget, this weekend is the annual FFA Toy Show. The setup is Saturday and the actual show is Sunday, but that's always a lot of fun here at Colfax High School. Both gyms are absolutely packed with some pretty cool farm toys. Also, don't forget that the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV are excited to announce that this spring and summer, we're once again going to bring you Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball. The Cavs' first game in the Chippewa River Baseball League is scheduled for Sunday, May 1st, and we will have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Tonight's Colfax High School basketball game has been brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital, Dairy State Bank, Anderson Bridges, Slayton's Technology, Pleasant Valley Properties, Aaron's Custom Baling, Fit Fam Nutrition of Colfax, and Kyle's Buff and Shine. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Final score once again, Elmwood Plum City Wolves 61, Vikings 44. For Dan Petchow and Jeff Gus, this is Rick Olson, and you've been tuned to Viking Postgame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking boys game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.